Hey folks, here at the Known Motor Company, we got a special running today. We got a Honda Fury for $99.95, and if you buy the Honda Fury today, you get a Harley Davidson for free. That's right, you heard me here, folks. You get the Harley Davidson for free if you buy this Fury for $99.95 here at Known Motors. Now I gotta confess, we actually have Known Motors at Known Motors. We stole these bikes, but we did just print off some titles for y'all, and life is good. We are in Nunn, Colorado with Liz Rabe, who is the manager of the Riding Academy at Thunder Mountain Harley Davidson. She has put 3 people that I know through the course, and her goal is to get as many people riding as possible, because too many kids are playing video games these days and not doing enough riding. And y'all are missing out on what we call wind therapy for your anxiety, just so you know. So suffering from anxiety, go see Liz. She's a therapist. She will put you on some motorcycles and teach you how to get rid of the anxiety, because you may have seen it many times on the biker sites, but you don't see many motorcycles at a psychiatric office. Psychiatrist office. How do I say that? I'm going to edit that. You don't see many motorcycles ever parked at a psychiatrist's office. So we're doing a segment called Women Who Ride, and Liz has been known to ride. Well, she mainly walks around the tarmac a lot telling other people how to ride, but no, she's actually ridden down from Cheyenne this morning just to ride back to Cheyenne. Go figure. Anyway, this is her bike, and she's going to tell you about her bike.
So this is a 2014 Street Glide Special. It has a 103 on it. I changed the exhaust, the grips, added the whip, and I don't know, what else can I tell you about
So
it?
why the whip?
Why the whip? Well,
yeah, people want to know, why do you wear a whip?
Creates movement, and movement draws the eye. So it's actually sort of a safety feature, if you think about it that way, where people are seeing...
I thought you just liked pain.
Well, that costs extra. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's
an
mostly
offline topic.
The movement is a visual to let people know that they're getting too close to me.
Very wise.
Mm-hmm.
So she mentioned exhaust.
Yes.
Here is the exhaust.
I went with a 2-in-1, which is not a traditional look on a bagger, but I really like the look.
It's very clean.
Thank you.
So what's that yellow thing?
So this is Sir Quackers McQuacken. He is my riding buddy.
You bikers and your horns, I swear.
Right.
And what are these things jingling down here?
So those are Gremlin Bells. I have 3 different Gremlin Bells to catch gremlins and deposit them into potholes instead of them climbing into my motor and creating havoc.
Oh, just so they get into like things like Hondas and stuff like that, huh?
It happens.
On Hondas?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Liz and I here, we're going to we're going to ride to a very boring place. Well, it's a boring ride to an interesting place called Hawk Springs, Wyoming. And for those of you from Denver that are heading up to Sturgis, you will probably just fly right past that little town. But they actually cook some food there, and we're going to try to get there today. We're avoiding the mountains because we have flash flood warnings left and right up there. Yeah, as much as an adventure as it would be, I like Hawk Springs today. So, let's ride.
Let's ride.
in Rockport, Colorado. Rockport, Colorado.
I like those. I've always liked the gray motors personally.
Yeah, it's been a while since I rode through Cheyenne. I did it once on the way to Sturgis. It was early in the morning though, I missed all the traffic. There's a lot of traffic. Because I like to watch women eat. It's the thing. Scrumptious. And there's nobody here. Now I can do this. And now we're not in Rockport, Colorado. So after a very windy ride, we've made it to Hawk Springs, Wyoming, to a very cool cafe. I want to call it the Emporium of Hawk Springs. I think that's what it says Emporium of Hawk Springs. So we are at the Grand Emporium of Hawk Springs, which is probably 90% of Hawk Springs if you exclude the post office down the street. So I'm sitting with Liz because we only brought one camera, and to have us both on it and to eliminate a lot of me editing, which I so despise, I'm going to be talking to her this way. So, Liz,
Yes.
How long have you been riding?
I started riding in 1999. 22 years now.
Cool. And so you were in Wisconsin then?
That's correct.
And who taught you to ride?
I am somewhat self-taught initially. And
That's
then,
the Wisconsin way, by the way.
And then retaught when I became a rider coach.
Okay. And what was your first bike?
A Sportster 883, 1990 883.
Of course, it would be Harley because you being from Milwaukee and Harley's being prevalent.
Yes.
I'm sorry it was an 883. If it had been a 1200, you could have killed yourself that much faster.
I did the kit, did the bore and stroke kit.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Many of mechanic has called it a death machine, so
Okay.
definitely, yeah.
What's interesting is that Liz was a salesperson as well, and she sold me a Harley 1200C, which I miss. I really like that bike. That was a good bike you found for me.
It was a nice bike.
So, if you had unlimited funds, what would you buy yourself next?
There is a new Harley that came out that's supposed to look exactly like a police edition from 1965.
Really?
But it's got the
How
new
come I don't know
motor
this?
and all the new. You know this. You've
No,
seen it,
I don't
sure.
know this. There's
No?
a police bike coming up.
No, it's not a police bike.
Replica.
It looks like a police
A
bike.
replica of a
Yes.
1960s. So it'll have like the.
It's got the solo
the bat
seat on the
wing?
springs, and it's a bat wing, but
Okay.
it's got the new motor and
Yeah, I did
the
not know
Milwaukee
this.
8,
See, I'm
and
learning
it's
something.
it's blue and cream, and I just think it's gorgeous.
But it's a Milwaukee 8 that looks like the old cop bike, which would probably still fool quite a few people.
Yes,
And it's white and black,
white and blue.
white and blue. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because they were white and blue back then, weren't they? Oh, that's very interesting. I wonder how much that is. $28.95.
Actually, it's what
99.
people are willing to pay for it. It's kind of
exactly.
in the same market share as the CVO.
Okay. Oh, ouch.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. What is your favorite place to ride to? Anywhere that you've ever ridden, what is your most memorable place that you have ridden and you would love to do it twice?
The Painted Desert
The Painted Desert of
in New
Arizona.
Mexico and Arizona. Yep.
Cool.
It was
I have not
beautiful.
done that.
Do not go there in June, though. No, not the right time of year.
Right.
But
Try December or
yeah,
something.
right. Yes, that was the most memorable, and in my eyes.
Was that on that trip that you had to take down to see family?
That's where I.
You invited me to go with you and I didn't.
Joke not intended. I got lost in Albuquerque because I took a wrong turn.
Yeah.
Ended up on Old Route 66. Got lost in the desert.
Well, Old Route 66 goes through Albuquerque two different ways, so you got double your fun.
Yeah, and discovered the Painted Desert because I got lost.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm out of questions.
Are you? Okay.
Almost.
What's your last question?
Did you want to talk about your painting on your bike?
Yeah, I'll tell the story of my bike. So the story of my bike starts with how I came to Colorado. I was working in a Harley dealership in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and wanted to leave because of the short season, and there was really no room for advancement where I was working. So
It's okay, it does that. It's a screen timeout.
So I peppered my resume around the Southwest and found a job in Arizona. I get down to Arizona and find out that the job I thought was for sure was not for sure, and I was homeless and had no job. So I decided to go to as many Harley-Davidson dealerships as I could afford to drive to, and Thunder Mountain was one of them in Loveland. I tried to get past the woman at the reception desk to talked to the sales manager, and she's like, you have to have an appointment. He's not available, that kind of stuff. So I said, well, could I have his voicemail so I could leave him a voicemail? And she goes, sure. And she hands me the phone, and I get on the phone. I say, my name is Liz. I was here on Friday, and we had a conversation. I have a question related to that conversation. Please call me back at this number. And I leave, and I start making my way back towards Wisconsin, because I'm just gonna give up, ask for my old job back, sleep on my mother's living room floor. Like, that's kind of where I think I'm headed. I get all the way back to Wisconsin, and I get a phone call from Thunder Mountain, and the sales manager says to me, I don't remember talking to you. And I said, well, that's because you never did. Here's what's going on. I've been in the industry for 15 plus years. I've been in sales for quite a few years,
no less. Home of Harley Davidson.
Right. And I tell him how I'd be good for his company, and he tells me he's not interested. He does a training hire once a year. He's got all the salespeople he needs. He's letting me down as easy as he can. But he ends the conversation with, the next time you're in Colorado, I'll give you an interview. So I hang up the phone, and I drove back to Colorado and called him from the parking lot the next morning. And he goes, why are you calling me? And I said, because I'm in the parking lot and I want that interview. So I got the interview, got the job. Well, now I have a job, still don't have a place to live. I go out to Loveland, start working at Thunder Mountain, and I'm there about, I would say, 5-6 weeks. And I'm working the sales floor one day, and my good friend Travis comes in, and this is me meeting him for the first time. He's really upset about something that's wrong with his bike, and he doesn't understand, and it's not working, and he can't get someone in the service to help him, and he doesn't know what's going on.
Parade mode.
It was actually the infotainment system on his bike, and I said, well, I know how to reset that. I know how to do your settings. Let me come out to the parking lot and help you. So that turns out to be the bike that I'm riding now. I helped him reset his system and reset his phone and get everything working right. And he's so appreciative that he invites me to dinner at his house with him and his wife. I'm like, sure. So I go over there after work for dinner and have a nice dinner. And in conversation, they find out that I'm sleeping in a tent, in a state park close to the dealership, because I cannot find a place to live to save my life.
Boyd Lake.
Yep, I was actually there for 3, almost 4 months.
I don't think I can afford to do that now.
I actually slept on a small mattress next to my motorcycle, and I was like that for months. And they find out, and they're like, well, we're going to help you find a place to live. That's not right. You need a place to live. So they actually helped me find a place to live in Windsor. And Travis and Jen became like brother and sister to me. Instant friends, instant family. I was going to other family functions, and they mattered a lot to me. At the time, I was with someone, and we were planning to get married, and Travis officiated the ceremony, and we had the wedding at their house, and it was beautiful. They are family. And unfortunately, about a year after I got married, Travis passed away. And after he passed away, his wife said to me, I can't afford to keep this bike, but I don't want it to go to just anyone. His cousin has said he'd buy it, but we're afraid that he'd wreck it or not take care of it or change it. And I'm listening to this, and I said, well, I'll buy it. I'll ride it in his honor, and if you ever want to learn how to ride and buy it back, you can. So that's the story of my bike. I've had it 5 years now, and I've put 45,000 miles on it on the 5th anniversary of his passing.
45,000 miles on a 103.
Mm-hmm. Yep. In
Have
his
you had
honor.
to do any work on the engine?
I make sure it gets in for regular maintenance. I'm meticulous about the oil changes. Take really good care of it. The only thing I've done is the
cam chain adjustment.
I've done the stage 2 and the pipes, and yes, the cam chain adjustment will probably come soon. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's the story of my bike.
Okay. Well, I won't put you on the spot anymore. Except we're gonna still go do some riding, because that's what we do. Motorcyclists ride. We don't buy bikes. Here I go on a soapbox. We don't buy bikes just to put them in the garage and stare at them. We get out and we ride them like she does.
They have
45,000
wheels.
miles. Yes. So what if it devalues the bike because it has miles on it? It has miles because you enjoyed life on it. So anyway, get out and ride. And I'm saying all this because she's told me that very thing before too. So anyway,
Agreed.
we're gonna get out and ride. So Dusty Hill of ZZ Top, one of my favorite bands of all time, passed away this week. And well, just fitting for him, we are passing by LaGrange. How. And just wanted to say, Dusty, I know it's not LaGrange, Texas, but it's the closest LaGrange we could find. And thanks for all the great music. Anyway, that was all.